Yo, people, man. Njies in the building, man. We got Miyagi in the building. We got Ollane in the building as well. And that, but if you see me looking right here, that's because I'm looking at the lyrics. But I feel like I've done so many reactions where I've read out the lyrics, or I've been listening to, or not listening, reading the lyrics while I've been listening to the song, and we've established that the translation is never going to be perfect. So it just is what it is. There's certain things within music that you're just not going to get, that only native Russian speakers are going to understand. It is what it is. I'm cool with it. You know what I mean? So it's not going to be a perfect translation. Is what it is. We still move though, as long as I can get the gist and that, fam. But let's see what I got. So a springtime tune and that, bro. Which, speaking of spring, I'm living in the UK right now, and it literally just rained, and now the sun is out and that, fam. So the transition from winter to summer is definitely happening. You know what I mean?
Вопреки всему пришла весна. Если светит солнце, это добрый знак. Если мысли вихрем вывернуты наизнанку, чистый лист для истин, это новизна. Love is life, верю неспроста. Мы привязаны вновь, в округе запутались, но грела любовь. Путник грузом быта падали на плечи нам. Чистый лист для истин, это новизна. Черствый.
Hold on though, hold on. Because obviously springtime is basically the transition from winter to summertime. It's like a renewal of nature, renewal of life. So he basically said within the song and that, from one of the lyrics, a clean sheet for truce and that, fam. You get what I'm trying to say? Because we're going from one season to another season. The song's, I'm guessing the song is called Spring or whatever. So as they're transitioning, it's like, yo, this is a new lease to life and that, fam. Leave all the lies behind, leave everything in the past and that, fam, and now just speak the truth. Also, the burden of everyday life felt heavy on our shoulders, especially in the Western world and that, bro. I said this in recent times in terms of we work and we work and we work. And it's like we work so hard in the Western world and that, bro. But if you're not flipping making a million flipping pounds a year or whatever and that, fam, it's kind of like we're just surviving, fam. You know what I mean? And it's like problem after problem after problem. Your car breaks down, family issues and that, bro. Something in the house breaks and you need to fix it. It's like you're just constantly surviving and that, fam. You know what I mean? And you're just almost gonna go under, but somehow we're just able to keep ourselves afloat. And for some people, they do go under. You know what I mean? Which is crazy.
Вопреки всему пришла весна. Если светит солнце, это добрый знак. Если мысли вихрем вывернуты наизнанку, чистый лист для истин, это новизна. Love is life, верю неспроста. Мы привязаны вновь, в округе запутались, но грела любовь. Путник грузом быта падали на плечи нам. Чистый лист для истин, это новизна. Черствые будни грузом быта падали на плечи. Искоренить во мне невзгоды, снова добрый вечер. И все, что наболело, выльется куплетом лечим. Каждого, кто тут озадачен или покалечен, это
I said every single thing that is hurting and that, bro, will pour through these verses, man. Which is why I always say some people should always have like a creative expression and that, man. Like, and creative could be anything, but even boxing is an art. Football is an art, bro. So when you're going through pain and you're a boxer, you go to the gym, you punch a punching bag a couple of times, you're good. If you're flipping painter in that, fam, or you use like pastel or whatever in that, fam, if you're hurting in that, bro, you got to express yourself in a picture, whatever emotion you're feeling, you express it within a painting in that, fam, and that could be it. If you're an artist, express it through your verses where you can literally say what you are feeling and that you might not be able to say to someone or say just regularly speaking, but you can put it into a melody, you can put it into a flow and that. You know what I mean? Chat to
искоренить во мне невзгоды, снова добрый вечер. И все, что наболело, выльется куплетом лечим. Каждого, кто тут озадачен или покалечен, это ли не стиль прошлого не.
Chat to them, man. And then after that, bro, man literally said we heal everyone who's troubled and wounded and that. Because I feel like with any type of art, bro, whether it's sports, whether it's, like I said, painting, whether it's music or whatever, I feel like all it is for us listeners, it's just a case where we know that someone else is going through the exact same thing that we're going through. Because sometimes I feel like in life as human beings, you can feel lonely, innit? For a lot of people, no matter who you are. And I feel like just having someone say something in a song or whatever who's a big artist or a global artist and that, fam, it's like, oh, so it's not just me that goes through what I'm going through. Someone that's quote unquote wealthier than me or is known worldwide also goes through the exact same thing that I go through in that fam. You know what I mean? So it's like a
Барыши, надо ли спешить, надо ли цепляться за причуды, покажи красоту свободы от привязанности лжи. Надо жить без этого, скажи, для чего тебе любовь? Разве ты все, что грело нас, оставим за собой в куплетах?
So even at the start where he was literally saying a clean sheet for truth. Now at the right here, he was also saying is the need to cling to odd illusions, show the beauty of freedom, attachment to lies and that, man. You get what I'm trying to say? So just like he was saying, like this is a new clean sheet where you can stop the line, forget about the past and start a new lease to life or whatever. He's also saying there's no point of hanging on to illusions, things that you might create in your mind and that, fam. There's a beauty to freedom and that, fam. Once again, speaking to spring. Because winter time is normally like a time where it's a low time for people, and summertime is a time where people are happy and that, you know what I mean? So that transition, let go of the past, let go of winter time and go into the summertime, joy and all of that type of stuff.
Летели лепесток по ветру, все, что грело нас, оставим за собой в куплетах. Прошлого не вороши, надо ли спешить, надо ли цепляться за причуды, покажи красоту свободы от привязанности лжи. Надо жить без этого. Места мало, раскидала нас без скандалов. Шепотами вдалеке, вера в новый день подарит свет. Глупо убегать, не беги из стен кварталов. Тень играла на чувствах нагло. Снова выручала вера в то, что новый день подарит свет. Глупо убегать, не беги. Okay.
Now, you guys know Miyagi is a killer, bro. There's not many people that have better verses when Miyagi is on the song. But what Ollane just did there, and I've reacted to multiple Ollane tracks, bro. That vocal was disgusting, bro. The pain in his voice and that, fam. But then how high he took it and that. And I always say it's always impressive when the guys can do high vocals, because as a man, we have deep voices. So when a guy does a high vocal and that, like, ooh, I didn't know you were capable of that, bro. Reload this verse, bro. I had to stop reading for a second and just appreciate the
artistry. Надо ли спешить, надо ли цепляться за причуды, покажи красоту свободы от привязанности лжи. Надо жить без этого. Места мало, раскидала нас без скандалов. Шепотами вдалеке, вера в новый день подарит свет. Глупо убегать, не беги из стен кварталов. Тень играла на чувствах нагло. Снова выручала вера в то, что новый день подарит свет. Глупо убегать, не беги.
Now I need to hear that one more time. So obviously when he's starting you know what I mean? Then he went to that high vocal. And then when he went on to the next part, he just stayed in that high vocal and continued in that high vocal. That's crazy. So before it's like he was doing one floor, then the high vocal, one floor, then the high vocal. And now here, he's just staying in the high vocal consistently in that fam.
Надо жить без этого. Места мало, раскидала нас без скандалов. Шепотами вдалеке, вера в новый день.
And then he said, whispers in the distance, faith in a new day will bring light and that, bro. Like just faith that things will get better. Faith that things will improve, they'll naturally improve, bro. In life, there's high moments and there's low moments. But the low moments isn't going to be forever and the high moments aren't going to be forever. Life is like this. It's a roller coaster ride in that, fam. So as long as you have faith in that, fam, the good times will come. A man said it's foolish to run away. Don't run away from it. Like the tough times, it builds character and that, fam. Like I said, I used to live in Africa. I've probably lived in certain situations that people couldn't even fathom to live on. Or live in, should I say. But at the end of the day, it built me. It made me stronger in that, fam. Now I understand people all the way at the bottom and I understand people all the way at the top. That's a beauty. But sometimes, for example, with all these different politicians and the government, not every single government official or whatever has lived in the lowest of lowest places. More so, most of them have lived maybe in the middle, but more so the high places. So they can't really relate to the people at the bottom. But I can relate to people at the bottom and also relate to people at the top. And no doubt, I haven't lived at the bottom of the bottom. Even when I was living at the bottom, there's people even at the bottom of that. You get what I'm trying to say? But at the end of the day, the tough times and that really builds you because you understand people more. You appreciate life more.
Всему пришла весна. Если светит солнце, это добрый знак. Если мысли вихрем вывернуты наизнанку, чистый лист для истин, это новизна. Love is life, верю неспроста. Мы привязаны вновь, в округе запутались, но грела любовь. Будни грузом быта падали на плечи нам. Чистый лист для истин, это новизна.
I like that he's repeating that as well, bro. The outro, it's foolish to run away, don't run. I like the fact that he's repeating that, especially on the outro as well. And what did he say here, bro? Because he said there was another line as well. Whispers in the distance. Okay, there's little space. Life scattered us apart without scandals. Ooh. So he said there's little space. Life scattered us apart without scandals. Basically saying that there's nothing malicious that happened in that, bro. There was no like bad blood or whatever in that family. It's just life. Life happens, bro. And sometimes we drift away. Kind of like family. It's like when we're all young, you're constantly playing with your cousins, you know what I'm saying, and that, bro, your brothers, all that type of stuff. But as you grow older, people move to different parts of the world. People move to different parts of the country, and just naturally you go away from each other. And it's not a case of there was some scandals or someone did someone dirty. No, it's just life, bro. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, not all of us can go in the same direction.
Вопреки всему пришла весна. Если светит солнце, это добрый знак.
Is that this? I was about to say, but that's Spotify. I was like, wait a minute, the song just finished. Why is it still going? But yeah, I had to add that to some of the playlists or whatever. I didn't tell you guys, but don't just think that I'll be listening to this music and that's the last time I hear it. I haven't added every single Russian song that I've reacted to onto a playlist and that, bro. But like I said, I can appreciate different types of music. And that right there, in terms of just sonically, in terms of singing, in terms of man like Ollane also putting his artistry on display, that was a great showing of musical talent right there, bro. And that had to go on some of my playlists and that, fam. You get me? So there's a few Miyagi tunes, Andy Panda tunes, other Russian artists that I have on my playlist as well and that, bro. Because like I said, just for me, it doesn't really matter about language and that, fam. Music is music and talent is talent. And that right there was talent on display. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that one. It's your boy Njies. And I'm out of it. Maybe people, man.